of presentations of evidence that is, at least together, irrefutable. At least together. Maybe the individual factoids aren't. But when you put the picture together, the narrative stands so strong that it would hold water and air, even in a vacuum. Go figure that one out, physicist. Blake says, I agree, people need time to adjust to change. Yes, so let's not attack people that haven't accepted the gay yet. I have fully accepted the gay. It took me a while. I didn't think it was right. It didn't seem natural to me. It still doesn't seem natural to me. What's so wrong with me saying that? It doesn't seem natural that a man would be attracted to a man or a woman to a woman. Now, if there were psychological components involved, such as, say, a woman had trauma in her early life from a male, and she therefore hated all males and began to find the love that she needed from a woman, see, that makes sense to me. I could see that as natural, a natural progression. What I have had trouble understanding, and have only recently come to understand, is the physics in the brain, the chemical balances, and the things that affect sex drive and sexual preference. These are not choices. They can be choices when you're at a fun age and you want to play and see if you've got some gay in you. Okay, they can be choices then. But for the most part, the people you have dreams about that get you excited, those are the ones you want. Yeah, those are the ones. You can lie to yourself, but the dreams don't lie. The people deep down in your heart that you are attracted to, those are the ones that you're naturally oriented to. So we need to learn to accept gay, and that's not easy. It's not easy for Christian fundamentalists, which I am not. I am an agnostic, and a proud agnostic in the sense that we require beliefs to not believe or believe to be proven. Did I just actually say that? Yeah, I think I did. Blake says, gay is fine by me, but showing off about it is not cool. That's another thing. See, these are the militant people I was talking about, Blake. In-your-face gays. Deal with my gay. Feel my gay. Go ahead. Say something homophobic. I swear to God, I hope you say something homophobic so I can put it on YouTube and show that you can't tolerate people that are different than you. Don't do that, gays. Give us some time. Give us some time to adjust to this, okay? We will. Now, in 50 years, if you've got somebody out on the street saying, gay people are going to burn in hell, welcome to Westboro Baptist Church, then yes, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm burning the torches. I'm doing the march with my dick hanging out. I'm all about the Wi-Fi on the halo for that Christian. The problem right now is give us some time to adjust to this, because it was only a generation ago that your sexual preference was, by and large, considered a sin. So we need some time to get our minds around this. That's all. Give us some time. Give us some time, atheists, to start to understand that maybe God was an illusion. Maybe religions are an illusion. I stick to my guns on the agnostic because I don't understand how you, the atheist, can say something doesn't exist without proving it. You can't prove it. So why are you going out on a limb to say it doesn't exist? In my mind, you're disemboweling the body of your argument there. Your whole argument is prove it to me or I'm not going to believe it. And yet you're saying there is no God and you can't prove it. That's a problem. In the mind of a logical, reasonable, critical thinker, that's a problem. That's a problem with the way you deal with evidence. So if I can't prove God does exist, and I can't prove God doesn't exist, I have no choice but to be agnostic. No choice. Because I respect science. That's my God. I respect proof. Because I can't see a better set of ideas and beliefs and reasons to base your life on, your living philosophy, than things that can be proven. And it doesn't mean you discount everything else. It just means that you've got something concrete to hold on to. Now, you Christians, you fundamentalist Christians, you hold on to your God. You hold on to the gospel. You believe everything said in the Bible, or almost everything, was true and real. Or the Torah, or the Quran, or the Bhagavad Gita, or whatever religious text you decide you want to base your life on. Just understand that there's a lot of religions out there, and whether or not your religion is the right one or a right one is a gamble. You understand that, right? If you're willing to admit that, I respect you and your religious beliefs. I want you to be able to come out and say, I'm not sure my religion is correct, but it's the one I believe in. Tell me that, and I've got full respect for you. But when you come out and say, live by this book or die in hell, I've got no respect for you, because you've got no reasonable ideas to base your belief on. What men wrote down in books from all over the world, translated into 100 different languages and back again, in a book is not going to tell me what to do unless those things can be shown in a lab or through historical analysis and interpretation to be factual. You can kiss my ass. Yeah. your prophet, Muhammad, your God, Allah, your God, your God, Yahweh, ISIS, Osiris, and speaking of ISIS, fuck them. They're just people taking religion and saying, how can we change this so that we can fuck little girls and kill everybody that doesn't believe what we believe? Let me think. I've got it. Islamic State. Fucking retards. You know what they're getting? They're getting the Predator. They're getting the drone. They're getting the goddamn missiles from the carriers and the battleships. They're getting the 5.56 millimeter to the head from the sniper. That's what their end is. Why? Because they've decided that they're going to break international law and national law in order to serve the fake God that they worship. That's what happens. That's the ultimate end. I'm buffering Jesus, holy hell. Wi-Fi on the Halo, Christians. Yes, Blake will not let me forget about an episode I did where I said, and it's funny, and this is what I was going to talk about earlier before I derailed there into this train wreck that has come from it. That is to say that I was doing a show and I said, fuck heaven, because heaven sounds gay to me. And I don't mean that in a gay sense. I mean it in a very proper, it's way too proper. And it's like one atheist I heard this weekend say, it's like being in church for eternity. How many of you people go to church and have true joy there? Church is filled with people feeling guilty and afraid to speak out and being told what's wrong with them. That's what you want for eternity? You can keep that shit. And these fat little children flying around with wings and farting. And all I'm saying is the Halos better have Wi-Fi, because otherwise I want purgatory. I don't think I want hell. It sounds too harsh. I mean, hell sounds like a hockey game between angry dykes and serial killers. That's the way I imagine. I just came up with that because I don't care. That's the way I imagine hell. I don't want to go to that game. I don't know who's going to win. I don't really care about either of those two parties. The action would probably be interesting in some ways, but quickly lose its flavor, a lot like Stripes chewing gum. But I think purgatory has the most potential, because in purgatory, apparently there are no rules. This is what I'm getting from it. Purgatory, you're chilling. It's like the waiting room at the ER. You can do anything. Well, you might go to jail. You may not be seen by the doctor. Depends on what you do. But you can set yourself on fire and put yourself out in a waiting room in an emergency room. Sure can. Now, what happens after is up to you. But there's no rule against it. The rule of law will apply depending on your locale, but nobody's going to stop you from doing it. Purgatory is wide open, my friends. Purgatory is freedom, and you may not get Wi-Fi on your Halo, but who needs Wi-Fi when you're surrounded by interesting people that you can talk to? Yeah, so if I'm going to heaven, I have to have Wi-Fi on the Halo. I don't know about angel wings. I'll take the wings for free fall, but I'm going to need jet propulsion, and farting's not going to be enough. I want an unlimited compressed power jetpack if I'm going to be in heaven, because face it, these fucking people flying around, oh, everything is beautiful and God loves us. God damn, is there any? I'll watch soccer. I'm not even a huge soccer fan. I'll watch soccer. Do we have some soccer? No, it's not proper. You just worship the big dude. Fuck that. Oh my God. I feel like a 10-year-old stuck in Sunday school in the heaven I'm imagining. No, you keep that heaven. Texas can have that heaven. I don't want it. I don't want it. Blake says, if Halos don't have Wi-Fi, I'll burn Jesus' sandals. You're a weird motherfucker, Blake, and I love you for it, man. I do. Yeah, that's great. So the picture in this episode says that the world sees America like America sees Texas. That's a kick in the nuts, isn't it? Somebody made that picture, and yet I see some truth in it. Look, Texas, you want to secede? Go ahead. We're going to talk about a few people from Texas. And it's not fair for me to do that. Why? Because you're going to start, if you don't know much about Texas, you're going to start ascribing the values of these people's individual personalities to the state of Texas. That's not fair, is it? But let me tell you what I feel about Texas. Now, I've got friends from Texas, good friends, and I've got some enemies from Texas. And it's weird because they all seem to have this feeling of unity, state unity. That's weird. I don't know any other state that says, hey, we're from here, bitches, except New Yorkers. They like to do that. So New York and Texas is about it. Nobody else is singing about how great their state is. Now, Somebody like an Alex Jones, who, if I've read correctly, is from Texas, will tell you that that mindset that I have of accepting people from other states as equal to me is globalization taking over. Oh, Jesus. You're not getting our guns, Piers. When was the last time somebody came knocking on your door asking for your guns, folks? Just curious. Oh, I'm so sick of cigarettes going out. If they don't have cigarettes in heaven and I go to heaven, they've got to have like an appeal committee or something where you can either go and work out terms or you can ask to leave the kingdom of heaven. And I'm for that. I think that might be a necessary move depending on how retarded it feels to be in heaven with people that just aren't very cool. I'm serious, man. I'm not going to spend eternity with a bunch of people going, oh, worship the man. Get the fuck out of here. You know, give me something. Can I go fishing, for Christ's sake? Jesus Christ. And hell, you know, you probably got little fucking Satan down there. I'll bet Satan looks exactly like Gary Coleman, with horns. And in fact, he may be personified as Gary Coleman, with horns and hooves. And he's running around with his little pitchfork, you know, making jokes like, what you talking about, Willis? But he does it all the time, you know, so it gets old quickly, and you're going to be there for eternity. So by the end of the first week, you're done with the, what you talking about, Willis? Joke. You're done with it. And he's still doing it. He's been doing it for millennia, you know, because time's relative. Gary Coleman in hell. You know, I don't know if you have alcohol down there or drugs or all of those things that the Christians now say will send you to hell. I hope you have them in excess if I end up down there, because I'll need them to cope. But the whole burning in a lake of fire, to me, as I heard one atheist say recently, I believe that's child abuse. Honestly do, to teach a child that. That's pretty ridiculous. To think, for sure, that you've been put on this earth as some kind of test, and if you fail the test, you're going to spend an undisclosed, undetermined, well, it's determined as forever, amount of time burning. Does that sound reasonable to you? What loving God would put some people on this earth and say, go ahead and fuck up, because I'm going to toss your ass down there. I got a guy that works down there. That nigga going to kill you. You ain't going to like it. It's going to be like the bear Jew coming up out of the cave on the Nazis. Because we in the business of killing Nazis, and business is a booming. Yeah, well, we need Tarantino to do a film on hell is what we need, because I got a feeling it's going to be the most accurate depiction yet. Poor Dante. You know, Dante's Inferno, he was so limited by the requirements of the time on what he could say. That's a shame, really. Because I might write a book about hell. I might write a book about Gary Coleman and hell and purgatory and a little about heaven. It could just be a comedic look at the afterlife, assuming there is one. Or it could turn out that in my book, because I haven't written it yet and I haven't thought about it, purgatory is actually Texas, which would be a punishment in and of itself to me, because they're so proud there of something that I have not yet identified. Everything's bigger in Texas, right? Okay, well, you should be careful about saying that, because is a lack of education also bigger in Texas? Are cysts that grow on the back of your neck bigger in Texas? You don't want that. Are the levels of retarded people, are those larger in Texas? You don't want that. So you don't want everything to be bigger in your state. Some things you want definitely to be smaller. Don't mess with Texas. Texas, do me a favor. Tell me who was the last person that messed with you. Right. And that's my problem. Straw man attacks on people who are not messing with Texas as a group. And all it is a very primitive caveman behavior, standing out in front of the cave where your family's inside. You've gathered up your nuts. You've killed yourself a woolly mammoth. And you're saying, don't threaten us, or I shall take one of the tusks from the woolly mammoth and ream you up the buttocks. And you don't want that. Why? We are Texas. Let's make a state. I don't know, Texas. Come on now. If you want to secede, get the fuck out. If you don't like this country and you're not willing to do the administrative and legal work to change it to something you like better, get the fuck out. Go be Texas, the country. I'm okay with that. I just don't get it, man. Stop separating yourselves from the rest of